Wave documentation. So web documentation, so open that link, and of course we go to our building apps. So come to developer tools, the overview, come to this will bring you here. Then from here click on building apps. From the building apps, move down. Then come to developer tools. You're even fine with this, just come to this WS network. Close to developer tools, you see WX network. WX network. So click on it. Click on it. Then login, chat or browser extension. Login is at the top. Ledger of browser extension. Then we are using the extension Keeper Wallet. So select Keeper Wallet. Switch, change this to testnet. That's what I'm saying. See this address bar. But let me just give you the link. Let me see if it will work. Yeah. Let me see if it will work first. Then I'll just paste the link on that document so that we just So you think it's fine. So let me just I think we were using the mainnet link before. So let us switch to the testnet. So WS network testnet. So use that link, testnet.wx.network/wallet/token. This particular one. So use this one. To main gateway stablecoins. What do you say? You have ways. It's not showing you, and you're on testnet. But is it showing? Is it showing with, like, when you check with this? Is it showing here? It's showing here. Then refresh that page. Then when I also refresh, it's brought me here. So refresh that page. It's showing now. Refresh that page and come and click on sign in. If it's not showing, that means it does not log you in properly. So sign in, then go to Keeper Wallet, continue. It's showing now, right?
Please check.
Then copy this link. I will try to use this one so I'll put the link on the browser. So from there you see different options, either through email, ledger, software. So use the ledger or browser extension. Then you have three of course, you know the one we are using is actually Keeper Wallet. So tick Keeper Wallet and then continue. I believe we are all here now. So let's try to send some tokens now. It's taking some time. All right, I believe you are all here now. So let me just switch to this. So just click on withdraw. Yeah. See the balance that you have. No, not your balance. Like this is the one where you have something. Just click on withdraw here. Like when you put your mouse here, it will bring this option. When you take your mouse off it, those options will go up. So you see this option of withdraw. Are we on the same page? So click on withdraw. Then let me test with one of this address. Let me go with the next one now.
Can you just answer?
So I put this address here. I think available now. I think I have available money now. So let me say I want to send one.
So who's that person that you sent?
Alright, so if you don't have token, just put something in front of your name that say I need token. To someone. Look at it now. Like you can see your like this is like where you can check your balance. This is where you have money and you can see your balance. So when you put your mouse on top of this place, please let's listen. You will see option that says deposit, withdraw. So we want to send money, so we click on withdraw. I know, not on that one. I think it has switched. Alright, this is it. So look for this option. Make sure the wave is selected. Put the address you want to send it to. Then enter the amount you want to send. For me, I'm going for 2, so that I can go round. Then I click withdraw. So you can see. So once you click on withdraw, it will ask you to sign that transaction to confirm that you're actually the one that want to send it. So and I will sign it, and yes, I close it. Then I can see now that I can also confirm that I've withdrawn that. So I've sent that. Can that person confirm if you have received it? That person, this is the person. I think it's this person. No, okay, some people are not putting it on top. No.
Guys.
Alright, this is the one I sent to. Can this person confirm if you receive?
Try sending them.
Alright, let's also try to send here too. Even Keeper Wallet allows us to send here. Like when you put your, let's listen. When you put your mouse here, when you open your Keeper Wallet, when you put your mouse on these 3 dots, when you put your mouse on this 3 dots, you see the option that says, that shows like an arrow. So you click on send, you enter the recipient. Let me go and pick another person. Okay, I'm even here. Alright, let me go and pick from the last person now. Yeah. Alright, so I go again. So I think this is easier. Just click on send, and I put the recipient, and I put how much I want to send, and I send. Recipient value is invalid. This person does not put a valid stuff. Let me go for the next one.
How come this is invalid?
It starts with 3. So this one does not start with 3.
You didn't copy it right, whoever that is.
Again, let me go to the top again.
This way.
Yeah, this one is sending. I think I'm right, picking people from the top. So I
Can you ask
approve.
if they confirm they got the money? But why is the money not going down?
I don't know why.
Now it's gone down. You see now it's gone down.
And that one is moving down now. It's not reflecting for this one now. That one they have reduced my.
Which one did you send to?
I sent to. I think I sent to this person.
Check your
I'm
transaction.
not even sure. Okay, let me confirm with Wave Explorer. So to confirm your transaction on Wave, you use Wave Explorer, like to see the action that you have performed with Wave. You use Wave Explorer. So, and this is Wave Explorer. So I'll just put the. It's showing now. Finally. So I'll put the link to Wave Explorer on the document. So Wave Explorer to check your transaction. So just open that Wave Explorer. Let every one of us open Wave Explorer. Maybe you send, it not send. It's part of what we are going to be looking at. So this is where you see, even you can see this Wave Explorer. Every transaction that is being performed, don't forget that blockchain, let's pay attention now. Let's pay attention. Now, don't forget that blockchain is actually a distributed ledger. And don't forget we have three types of blockchain. We have private blockchain, we have private blockchain, we have public blockchain, and we have the one that is in between, neither private nor public. Now, this is an open blockchain because now this is not your transaction, but you can see it because it's open to everybody to see. If you click on this, you can see that this is the date that this transaction was performed. This is the date, that's today's date, and some minutes ago. And you can see the fee, you can see the amount, you can see the person that received it, you can see the person that sent it, and you can see the ID of the transaction. So if this person wake up tomorrow and say, no, I want to erase this thing, sorry, it's not possible. So this is, like, you can see the transaction, the transfer, everything that was performed on this blockchain. So if you go back, you also see the latest blocks that were added. I think they use proof of stake. Now you see the blocks that were added to this blockchain. This is block 4, maybe it started from block 1, and this is block 4234890. You don't need to disturb yourself too much with all this. It's fine. Now see these blocks as node. Now you can see the market cap, like it's open, everything is transparent. Whatever you want to check, you can see it. Now for us, we want to monitor our own transaction. Like you want to see the transaction that you perform, because you don't, of course it's open, but how do you know who this person is? Just number. You can't trace the person's identity to it, so you can just check what happened with the transaction. But for you, let us limit it to our own. So just come to your Keeper wallet, then copy your address. Come to your Keeper wallet, copy your address. We want to monitor our transaction. So come to your Keeper wallet, copy your address, then put it here. The Waves Explorer, put it there. I've put the link to the Wave Explorer on the document. This is it. Please don't delete anything. So once you put the link there, then you will see this option here. You see mainnet, stagenet, testnet. Let's change it to testnet. Of course, what you pasted will definitely go away. Then you paste it again. Then you press enter. So you can see your transaction. So if I click on this, it's telling me sources. So if you go back, you can see all your transactions. This, okay, maybe because I was sending out, that's why it was showing red. So if I'm receiving, probably it will show green. I think that's the case. So you can see your transactions. You can go to the next page and see your transactions and so on. But I guess you should have 1 or 2 transactions. All right. So how many? Please keep trying this stuff that we also put there. Keep trying it so that you can, in case you can get your token there. So, but if you have gotten token, please just remove from your. How many of us have token? How many of us have token? Okay, if you have token, this is what I would do. If you have token, put it beside your address that you have token. So I will attach the person that you will send token to, so that we can use that to learn. Like, put it beside your address that I have token. So I will put. No, don't worry. Don't worry. You can always get more now. Just put it that you have token, and so it will be a classwork that I will attach the person that you will send token to you. Please don't, make sure that your address is properly written, otherwise they will not be able to send token to you. We need token for what we want to do now. Did you receive that one I sent? I think it's faster here. Please put a valid address. Put a valid address, please. Please, those of you that have token, please kindly share with someone that don't have. This Michael does not put a in. This one is not a valid address. They don't what? Please, we need this to move forward, please. Just come here, send. You get? Wow, okay, I think the faucet is working now. Yeah. Please keep trying the faucet too.
Sir, my mind is not going out of my.
It's not, no, it will go. You should approve it now. No, you should send your friend too now. Be nice.
But how many weights? Is yours decreasing? Is it? Are you? Let's stop. I did receive some weights.
Yeah, it's from me.
Okay.
We have Ethereum, which is a major blockchain, and if you want to code on Ethereum, you use Solidity. But for Wave, if you want to code on Wave, you use Ride. You use Ride, like you are riding a bicycle. So you use Ride. But on Ethereum, you use Solidity. But all those things, they are all English, and you don't need to disturb yourself too much. Now, this is what I want us to do. Let us come back to our documentation. I believe you should be familiar with documentation now. As a developer, see the documentation as your own textbook. Just like if you are in a class, they give you a textbook and a study material. So when you are developing, you are stuck at any point, you go and verify in the documentation. So let's come to our documentation and let me just come to the home page, doc.waves.tech in English. So of course just find your way around it and find and get to this place. Are we there now? Are we here? Can we continue? All right, so click on this decentralized application. Move down. I just want us to click on a link there. Decentralized application. Okay, so sorry, click on creating and launching decentralized application. Yeah, this is the link. Click on this one. Creating and launching decentralized application. We want to write a very simple code in RIDE, which will be our blockchain. So you will see this Waves IDE. Can you click on it? Waves IDE. Please click on it. I'm actually doing that so that you can, in case you want to repeat something, it will be easy for you to repeat. So of course let me make it look exactly the same way yours will look. So this is where you are, right? So of course yours will look like this. So you can just drag it down. Just move your mouse, and once it's changed to something like this, you can just click it, hold it down, and drag it down so that you can have a wider space for you to write your RIDE code. Yeah, but if you are good with the small space too, it's fine, whichever one. Now let us do something. Look at this place. You realize the fact that you don't have anything there yet. So click on it. Click on that drop down. Click on add account. You have two options, which is generate new accounts and import. So which one do you think we are going to do? Yeah, I told you are a senior blockchain developer. So click on import account. Okay, let's do it together. So if let me just go here. Oh yeah, I think I've linked these two. Okay, let me just delete. All right, so we are together now, right? So let's go import account. Now don't forget I told you about your seed phrase, those 10 words that I told you must keep it. You actually, so look for it now. Those 15, yeah, 15 words. So copy it. Copy your 15 words will not be the same with mine, but please, those 15 words, they are the one holding the access to your account. So you can paste those 15 words here. 15 words. Yes. Of course, this will not be the same with yours too. Now, before you do that, wait. Let's wait. Before you do that, look at something, please. We skip a step. Sorry. Click on these settings. Cancel that. Don't worry. I'm sorry. I know you are typing it. Sorry. Now click on these settings. We skip a step. Click on the settings. Now you see we have two options. Default nodes. The first one is mainnet. The second one is testnet. Don't forget we are using testnet. So let us check testnet. Check testnet, like mark testnet instead of mainnet. Come to settings. I'm trying to repeat it again now. Come to settings. Initially this was actually selected, so change it over to testnet. Change it to testnet. Change it to testnet. Just close it once you have changed it. Once you have check it, just close it, then come back to your add account now. Yeah, you can close this now. Once you have changed it to testnet, then you can close it. Once you have changed it to testnet, then you can close it. Once you have changed it to testnet, then you can close it. So now let us go ahead to say add account. Then you can now start. You can now put those words again. And then I put my account name. Yes, then you import. If you are not seeing the amount you have in your wallet, then that means you selected mainnet. That means you check mainnet. So you should see the amount you have in your wallet. You should see it here. It's not showing. It should show. That's the same way you can ride with this Wave IDE. So click on the plus icon, you see different scripts that you can create. So but for us, let us create a decentralized application script. So click on decentralized application scripts. If you like black screen, you can change to black screen. But if you don't like black screen, then you can leave it as white background. So what I want you to do now is, of course, seeing this will make you to be a bit afraid, which is fine. What I just want you to do is leave these 3 lines. I want us to like edit them by ourselves. So you can see that this is, of course, you know function in Python. This is function in right. A function that is callable. You see what it means to be callable now. But for now, what I just want you to do is delete this from let assets. Please pay attention. From let assets, delete it to where you have this array. You can highlight it first. From let assets, delete to where you have the array, the closing braces of the array. Yeah, that's true. Thank you. Delete from line 7 to line 22 if you have not changed anything. Delete from line 7 to line 22. Okay, I should delete mine first. For now, let us delete this. Alright, so look at something here. You can see that we have these 3 stuffs. The first one is showing the version of Ride that we are using, and we are using version 5. I think the latest version is version 8, but let us stay with version 5. The problem with working with the latest versions, sometimes there's problem with working with the latest version, because those latest version, they are still, maybe they are coming up with new updates, of course, but most of the time they are coming with their own new bugs too. So if you are still trying to find your way, stay between. Don't use the lowest version and don't use the latest version, because it's at the point when you are using the latest version, you see how do you solve this thing. You now be looking at like you not see. But when you are using the version that is everybody is used to, if you are having issue, someone will have been in your shoe before and they will be having the same issue. So once you go online, you search that error, you see exactly the same thing, and you're out of problem. Because that's what we do as a developer. We solve problems, we write code, and we debug. Like if you're running for error, then you're not ready to be a developer. All right, but it's fine. So it's also telling us the content of our application. Don't forget that when you click on this plus icon, you selected a decentralized application. When you see a dApp, it means decentralized application. So you selected decentralized application, and your account, the type of account that you are using to run this is a script type account. I don't know what that means, which is what is also giving me a problem in another thing I'm doing, but it's fine. So this account, for us to be able to run this code, must be a script account. So the version, the content we are developing, and the type of account we are using to run that content. So that's the simple thing about these three things, and they must be there. Now this callable, it means that you can run that function outside of this. Like you can use that function, you can call it from the word callable, you can call it. You see how to call it very soon. But for now, this is what I want us to write. I think we can delete. This is a function. Function is just a code block that you can use again. A code block that you can use again. A code block that you can use. So this is how to define a function in RIDE. So let us delete this. So you just write what you deleted again. So I'll write func. You see the IntelliSense? That's true. So write func. Of course, if you want to use IntelliSense, if you write fu and you are good with this func, it makes your work faster. Just press tab. If you like typing, you can also type everything. So let us say save sum. Let us call it save sum. Now if we want to add two numbers, what we want to do with this function is we want to add two numbers and save it on the blockchain. Add two numbers and save it on the blockchain. Add two numbers and save it on the blockchain. That's what we want to achieve with this function. No, don't worry. I just want you to catch up with this. That's why I saw some people still writing. That's why I'm waiting a bit. Alright, it's fine. Can we continue? So this is function save sum. Now this function, we want it to take two parameters. We want to take two parameters, which is number one, the first number, and number two, the second number. So let's call this one num1, and you must declare the type. You must declare the type by putting a full column and put a space, then you say integer. And you just put a comma and write num2, then put the type. The same way you did this, just put a comma to separate this, then write num2, then declare the type as an integer. The same way you did for number 1. Are we together? So I'll just go num2 integer. Of course, we were taught data types the other time, which is what you are familiar with. We don't want to waste our time too much here. So let us say let sum be equals to num1 plus num2. Now take note of something here. when you declare the function, there must be an equal sign here. So I want to save this sum on the blockchain. How do I do that? So I go with an array. Oh, sorry, I'm spelling num2 wrongly. I can just say now to input some things on, of course, data types. You have integer, you have true or false, you have string, just like you all know. Now to write something on the blockchain in write, actually all you just need to do is specify the data type of what you want to write and say entry. For example, we have integer entry. So this will then be, you can see integer entry, the key and the value. So let's say the key is sum, and then you define the value with comma and say the value is sum. But I'm still putting a comment, because now the same way you can also go with string entry. So if you want to write a string to the blockchain, you can see it's even giving us IntelliSense. Don't worry, I'm just using this to show you. You can also go with Boolean entry. You can see the same thing goes, the key and the value. And I think we have, which other entry now? I think, yeah, these are the popular ones, but for now we want to write a string to the blockchain. You don't need to disturb yourself, just so sum. What we are doing here is very simple. We are writing a function that adds two number and save it to the blockchain. This line, do the addition. This is comment, you might not need to write it. And this line, add it to the blockchain. I'm moving too fast.
Why are you guys quiet? Speak, bros. They can't see.
They can't see. Should I change it to black? Is it fine now? Alright, so what we want to do now is very simple. Add two numbers together and save it to the blockchain. You say I'm too fast and I want to start again. Alright, so what I want to do now is I want to add two numbers together and save it to the blockchain. Of course, I want someone to be able to call that function outside. So what I will do now is I will declare a function. To declare a function in write, you use func and you say save. You can call it maybe add two numbers together and save it to the blockchain, or whatever you like. But now I'm going to call it save sum, meaning that I will sum two numbers and I will save it to the blockchain. So this is how to declare a function in write. All you just need to do is, just like the way you use def in Python, in write you use func, func. Now, so save sum, and you then say is equals to the code block, curly braces, and you close it. So this is how to define a function. The name of the function, the keyword, and all these special characters. Now, very simple task. We take two numbers, we pass two numbers as parameters to the function. Then once we get those two numbers, we add them together and then save our results to the blockchain. The first thing, add the two numbers. The first thing we want to do, add two numbers, or let me say first, these are our to-do list. Our to-do list is that we want to take two numbers, because it's what we have that we can add. Then we want to add the two numbers, and then save the result. Save the result. This is our to-do list. Save the result to the blockchain. Going back to the first one, take two numbers. The first number, let's call it num1, and the second number, let's call it num2. That's how to pass parameter to a function in right, num1 and num2. So you have to set the data type of this parameter that you want to send to this function. We have integer data type, we have boolean, we have string. But since it's a number, we expect it to be what? To be an integer. So I'll declare the type to be int. As you are typing, you will see the results and you can just select it. And then for the second one, you do the same thing. You set the type to be int by putting a full column in front of it, and you can even see int right away. And now we can say we are done with this. We have been able to take two numbers. So this we pass num1 and num2 to the function. That means we are taking two numbers. So now what we are going to do with the two numbers is now what we are going to be defining in the function. So the question is, what do we want to do with those two numbers? As simple as just saying we want to add them together and save it or put it on the blockchain. Now, so let's go with the second task now. Let's go with the second task, which is add the two numbers together. Very simple, we can do that now. So all you just need to do is, just like you were taught variable, just take the two numbers, add them together, and store them somewhere, which is the variable. So to declare variable in, right, you just say let. So the name of the variable will now be what? Let me call this result. That means the result or the answer that, let me call it answer. The answer that you get. So this is my variable. It will now be equals to the addition of the two numbers, because that's what we want to do with the two numbers. We want to add them together. So that will be, the first number is what? The first number is num1, and the second number is num2. It can be anything. That's also variable. So num1, you add it with num2. So now you can then go back to this particular to-do list and say, I am done with this. Meaning that I've been able to add the two numbers together. The next task now is to save our results to the blockchain. So to save it to the blockchain, it is just as simple as saying entry. As simple as, all these are on the documentation. If I don't know if I should just start searching now, or I should just leave it. So integer entry, it will take me to where others are. And you can see, you see different types of entry. You see binary. Let me just come to script action. You see all the types of entry. You can put a binary on the blockchain. All you just need to do is just say binary entry, boolean entry, burn to add a token, to burn a token, delete entry, integer entry, what. Alright, you also have string entry. So but for now, we want to add an integer value to the blockchain. So that means we are going with the integer entry. So if I click on it, they will tell me how to use it. All I just need to do is just say integer entry, then define my key. They are telling me here that my key, we have something that we call key value pair. The key is like what you can use to identify the value, just like you have in Excel. You have the header, like table header. when you say name, age, and maybe gender. So the name is actually the key. Every other person have their own name, but if you want to get all the names, all you just need to do is use the key. So the key is unique identifier, and the value that is attached to the key is called value. So it's fine. Let us just see it in action. So all I just need to do is just say integer entry, because I want to add an integer to the blockchain. So I will just say the key now, my key is going to be a type of string, and when you are writing string in any programming language, you put it in a quote. That's how to know a string. You put it in a quote. If it is not a string, if it's a number, you just write it. If it is 1, you just write. If it is 2, you just write it. But if it is a string, you put it in a quote or inverted comma, whatever you call it. So my key is called sum. And you can see that this thing is giving me an idea of what to do. It's telling me that once I've put the key, then I should put a comma, then I put the value. And the value must be a type of integer. My key must be a type of string. That's why I'm putting it in an inverted comma like this. And my value must be a type of integer. And but I need to separate the two by comma. So I'll put a comma here. Then I'll divide the value to be the answer I got here. Don't forget I've stored the answer in a variable called answer, or in a space called answer, and I define it as answer. This is all. Then we can say done. Now, this is as good as not writing a function at all. This is as good as not writing a function at all, because you are not actually making the user to be able to access this function. You have defined the function, you have defined the parameters, you have defined what you want the function to, the purpose you want to achieve with the function, you have saved to the blockchain, but the user cannot access it. To make this function accessible to the user is as simple as just saying, you don't need to write this comment. Then it's as simple as just saying at callable, then you put to make the user to be able to access the function. Otherwise, the user will not be able to access it. So that is all we want to do for this. And now you can go ahead and deploy. Once you have been able to do this and it's not showing you any red, it's showing you, and then press enter. Press enter. Then you see that the latest transaction that you performed was that you set a script. So click on it. You do not see this set script. Did you see it? Put your address, change it to testnet first. Hello. Change it to testnet first. Then once you change it to testnet, paste your address that you copy, paste it here, and then press enter. Yes. So you'll be able to see all your transactions, and the most recent transaction that you perform will be set script. The most recent transaction that you performed will be set script. So just click on it. Click on this ID. So it will take you here. Now, for us to test our scripts, Wave also give us one other thing. Let us come back to our documentation. So we have seen that our script was actually deployed successfully, and you can see the code that you wrote. It doesn't show. Alright, so come back to your tools very fast. Come back to the documentation. Come back to the documentation. So of course you should know how to now find your way around the documentation now. So come to tools, all tools, documentation. Let me just go back home very fast. So come here, the landing page, the index page, move down, and then you will see all tools. All tools, click on all tools. Now what you want to use now is the Waves decentralized application user interface, UI, dApp UI. So click on it, the last one on the list, this last one on the list. Let me go back, come to the documentation, click on the one we always use, then this landing page. I want you to move down, you see all libraries, keep going, move down, you see smart contracts, keep going, then you see all tools, under developer tools. You know you are developer, so we are actually, so come to all developer tools, then come to all tools, so click on all tools. Then the last option on the list, which is the Waves dApp UI, click on it. So we all should be here now, right? So it will ask you to, let me just copy the link and follow it here. So we all are here. It will ask you to sign in. So click on sign in. Sign in. Which one do you think we are going to go with? You're on point. All right, so let's go for it. All right, so now you should have this now. Then come back to your Is it showing? Then come back to that explorer this one that we actually check. So come to the details page. Of course, what we need is just our address. Find a way of getting your address. Yeah, this is your address. You can also get it from this place. You can get it from here because that's what you use to search for what you deployed. You can get it here, or you can also get it from this place. This particular one is still the same thing. One of the two, whichever one is closer to you. Either the explorer, you need your address now. You can either get your address from this explorer. If you actually follow this step previously, and then you copy your address, or you come back to that interface that you used to write your code, then click on this drop down and copy the address, then come back to that UI. Once you have your address copied, then come back to the UI. Once you have copied your address, maybe you get it from the ID, maybe you get it from your explorer, just come here and then paste the address here under the UI. Then paste the address and press enter. I fear. Now you can see, we can see the sum that we set as invocable. You see that the function that you set as save sum, this is the function, and that function is asking for two things. The first one is num1, and this is it. The second one is num2, and this is it. So let's just put any two number. Make sure it is integer, otherwise it will not accept it. So once you put those two numbers, Then click on invoke. Invoke means call. Then click on invoke. Put any 2 number. Then click on invoke. Yes, now 0.005. Very small money. It take. This is fake money, bro. So please go ahead and approve. And if you don't want to approve, it's fine. So then close. Now we are going to confirm this in 2 places. Then once you have approved, then you can close. We are going to confirm this result in 2 places. Don't forget that we actually do the sum. What we actually need is the sum. So then come back to your Explorer.
After that, we approve that.
Yes. Come back to your Explorer. Don't forget you still have your account. Sorry, you still have your address here. Then press enter again, just to refresh the page. Then come to this data page. Don't forget you save something on the blockchain. So we want to see what we save on the blockchain. So come to the data tab. Let me come back. Come to the Explorer. Make sure it is testnet. Put your address. Press enter. Press enter. Now you see your transactions. You see your alias. You see your asset. You see your NFT. You see your scripts. Come to data. All you just need to do is open Wave Explorer. Put your address. Press enter. Open Wave Explorer. This is where you will come. Change it to testnet. Put your address. Press enter. And then you are here. So just come to the data tab. Are we there? It's empty now, right? So just come to load all. Click on load all. Click on load all. And then you can see the information that you save on the blockchain. Now, so the sum of, maybe if for example, I think I put 2 numbers that their sum is 46, and I can see the value that I put. I can put the result of that. So the blockchain, the Python code that we ran yesterday, if you run it again, it will give you this. If you still have it, if you still have that, should we do that before you go for break? No, it's just copy and paste. It's just copy and paste. All right, let's do it fast. I love the energy. Come back to your documentation. Don't forget we have business with documentation. Come back to documentation. Come to auto guide. Under auto guide, come to reading blockchain data. Reading blockchain data. Then keep moving with me. Now this is what we used yesterday, right? So copy it. Let's confirm the information we put on the blockchain now. Like, I want to come again. Come to the documentation. On the index page, come to reading blockchain data. Under auto guides, come to reading blockchain data. So that your array will not be empty today. You have actually put something on the blockchain. So let us confirm that using Python code. So under reading blockchain data, keep moving down. You will see using Node REST API, keep moving. Then you will see using JavaScript, keep moving. Then under using Python, just copy the code that you have here. See the code in case you want to compare with yours. So be sure you are copying the right thing. Import request and so on and so forth. So copy it, just highlight it, right click and copy. So come back to your VS Code. Come to your VS Code, the folder you are using to work. just open that folder, copy that code, then open your VS Code. Then open the folder that you are using as your work folder. Are we there now? So very fast, we will just create a new file in case you don't have that file here again. But I think we should still have that file, that wave.py. Alright, now let us go and paste it there. So that means you still have the code then. So what you just need to change from this code. Thank you. So you know how to get your address, right? Can you try that? I should show you. Alright. So the same way you got your address for you to check with the Explorer, just come to your IDE, then copy your address here. So just copy your address here. Then come back to your code. Yes, save it, then run it. You know how to run it, right? So replace your address with this. Then you go with what? Python wave.py. Python wave.py. So if you press enter, and now I don't have pip install request. So just run python wave.py. I believe you install request yesterday. I actually have to install request again because when I was troubleshooting some code, I was having error. I have to remove Python and put it again. You can see now. It's not showing for you. It's not showing this for you.
It's showing for her.
So you can see now. For those of you using personal computer, you should see it. Let me see the address. So if your code is working, you can go for breakfast. If your code is not working, whatever you are seeing, guys, let us see something here. Whatever you are seeing here, where is my Explorer? Explorer. Yeah, whatever you are seeing, yes, whatever. See what I'm seeing here. I'm seeing sum, integer, and 46. It must be the same with what you are seeing here. Sum, integer, and 46. Do you get? Yeah, you are copying the wrong. Of course, it will show you something, but that's not the code I copied. See that it's not the same with us. Don't use the folder you have been using before. Just come somewhere, maybe your desktop, and you can just say whatever idea you are thinking about. That is what I want you to use to name your folder. That is what I want you to use to name your folder. Hey. Alright, so just go to new folder. Because we did this previously. Go to new folder. The idea you are working on, please give it. I'll name my own cross-border. Me, I will call my own cross-border supply chain. Don't name it the same way with mine. Everybody must have different. So once you name your folder, you can just press enter so that you have it like this. Come to file, guys. Come to open folder. Look at where you want to save the file. Maybe for example, me, I want to save my own on the desktop. If you want your own to be if you want it to be document download the document, it's fine, but me, I want mine to be on the desktop. You can choose where you want your own to be. So, and I will now create a new folder because I want this to be a special folder that I want to use to work on my project. We are building a complete project now. So we come to new file. So I'll call the name of the file the name of my project, like just a rough idea of what I'm working on. So let's just say cross-border supply. You can also give it cross-border supply chain too. Already, do you want to replace it? Yes, I want to replace it. So once you do that, you press enter, then you select the folder and you select folder. Select folder, please save. I believe it will bring you that, do you trust the authors? Yes, I trust the authors. Now that you are here, you go and open, make sure that this folder is the one that is here. Then you want to ask the question? Okay, then go ahead and open your terminal. Now there's something, you're not to open terminal now, right? You guys are senior programmer now, so have you opened your terminal now? Let me make sure we are using the same terminal. Let me change my own so that we'll be sure we are using the same terminal. It's fine now, right? It's the same now, right? So now the first thing you should do is to create a virtual environment. The question is why? Because now you want to start installing different dependencies. I will install Django. On Django, I will install PyWave, for example. I will install Python Wave. I will install this and this and this. Now, I want that whatever I'm installing to only be applicable to this particular application. I don't want it to spread across. I don't want it to, maybe as I'm working on cross-border supply chain, maybe I'm working on farm equipment leasing, maybe I'm working on transport, and I'm working on different projects. Now, maybe on the farm equipment, I am currently on PyWave version 3.2. I don't want to update the PyWave I'm using for that one. So once I do PyWave version 3.4, for example, the update they are adding to this new one I'm using, it might affect the previous one I'm using. So whatever I'm installing, I don't want it to affect the other applications that I have on my system. And that is why for this particular application, I want to create a virtual environment for it, so that whatever I'm installing on it will only be applicable to it. Because installing, just for example, if I've not created the virtual environments now, I'm installing virtual environment. If I've not created the virtual environments now, if I just say pip install, for example, don't press it, pip install, if I just say PyWave, this PyWave will apply to every Python code on my laptop, because I am not installing this on the virtual environment. So the need for a virtual environment is just for you to separate concern, for you to make sure that whatever you are installing on this thing, whatever dependency you are installing on this, is only affecting this application or this project. You get virtual environment now. All right, so please, I'm sorry, we might not write too much because of time, but if you feel you need to pen some things down, or maybe if you want to type it, it's fine. But if you think you learn by seeing, whatever way, it's fine. But please, we are doing the major and serious business. Of course, we have been doing the serious and major business now, but this is where we are putting it together. And you must not, it's just like we are going to step 1 to 10. Once you miss a step, it will be difficult. So, and we want to learn a lot at this point. We really want to learn a lot. We want to bring all that we have been breaking into small units. We want to bring them together, and that is why it is very, very important at this point for you not to miss anything, of course. All right, now, so let's go. Let's create. So what we want to do now is to create our virtual environment. The first thing is to install the virtual environment. To install your virtual environment, what you need to do is to do Python. You can follow me now. Python -m virtual environment. Okay, let's install it first. You might not have it. Let us install our virtual environment. To install your virtual environment, just do pip install virtual env. This means virtual environment. You know why we need virtual environments now. So I'll be putting whatever command I'm running, I'll be putting it on that document. Is that fine? So this is in the same format. So in case you miss anything, then you can go back. I hope nobody will delete it. So commands. So I don't know if I should be putting comments, but it's fine. I know you are sharp people. So let's just leave it. So you can press enter once you have this. Pip install, please, exactly the way I write it. Pip install virtual environment. Let me move it up again so that you can see it. This is what you should run. Pip install virtual environment. But you will not write the environment, but you should write env. You see I'm not fast now. I'm going. So now that we have installed our virtual environment, let us now create a virtual environment. We have, like, for the way you install request, the way you wanted to install PyWave. So virtual environment also is a package of Python. Now we want to now create the virtual environment for this our application. We have installed the virtual environment. So that means it's just like, I don't want to go through too much into explanation, but I believe you get the concept. We have installed the virtual environment. Now we want to create a virtual environment for this application. To do that, all you just need to do is just do Python -m, and you go the virtual environment that you install, virtual environment, then you create the name that you want to give to your own virtual environment. This is the package that you installed. Right? Now, you will now give your own virtual environment a name. Personally, of course, we should use the same so that we can be on the same page. The name you are giving to the virtual environment that we want to create is venv. I'm copying it because I want to keep it in the document. So what we are doing here is we are creating the virtual environment. Please make sure you are in the project directory. We are creating the virtual environment that we are going to be using for this particular project. So we go, of course, if you are done with that, you can press enter, but I want to just keep this here. In case you miss it, you can just, in case you are not seeing the screen well, you can just come and copy and paste it from here so that we avoid error. So I can press enter now. So once you are done with this, you can press enter. Now, do you see anything different? You do not see anything different? Are you sure? Yeah. Yes, this is what you are seeing differently.
Why does it have an image? Is there an image inside?
You don't have the image. You don't have the image. I've forgotten what I installed. Hey, I think I installed one icon something. Yeah, material icon. If you want your own to have image too, you can install this material icon. If you want. If you are not a fan of that, you can leave it. It's not what will make our code work. So if you want it to also have, you can just search for material icon theme. Material icon theme. So once you install it, I think it should have the icon. Can I continue now? Okay, let me just go back to the place. So now that we have the material icon, does it look similar? Does it look similar? All right. All right, so let's continue. So now you have installed the virtual environment. You have created the virtual environment that you are going to be using for this project. Now, what you want to do now is to start the virtual environment. So that means that the first thing you should do when you go home now, for example, once you come back and you want to resume working on this project, the first thing you should do is to start the virtual environment. So that's the first thing, and you will know the difference on when you start and when it's not started. Now notice that you don't have anything here at the moment. So now to start our virtual environment, all you just need to do is just say the name that you give to the virtual environment, which is venv slash. I hope the people using Mac, they will not have issue here. Script.
Is there anyone else using a MacBook?
I think a good number. So this is how to activate your virtual environment. venv script activate. So I'll give you the command again so that in case you want to copy it word for word to avoid error.
Is anyone else using MacBook?
So why did you say we must start activated?
I'm saying that we have installed the virtual environment. Now we have created the virtual environment we are going to be using for this project. Now we need to start it. So that whatever we are doing, we are not doing it on ordinary system, we are doing it on the virtual environment. Actually, we have not started the project at all, we are still setting up our environment. So now we have created the virtual environment, now we want to start it. In case you miss it, you can just open this folder. You can see when you open the folder from venv, which is the name you gave to your virtual environment. I think I'm speaking faster again.
Yes.
You see, I'm watching myself too. So now, in case if you look at it now, you have venv, the name you gave to your virtual environment, which is this folder. If you open this folder, you see that you have script, and that's where I'm getting this script from. You get, when you open the script folder again, you see activate, and that's where I'm getting this activate from. So if you press enter, okay, I've pasted it. You can always go and get the code from the press enter. Did you see the difference? Did you see the difference? Error. In case that does not work, how many of us have error? If it work for you, raise up your hand. If it's work, it does not work, okay, it's fine. This is what we'll do in case it does not work for you. You can just go ahead and say, yeah, it's fine, I expected that. Or source. So just put source in front. Put source in front of the command. Just say source venv /script /activate. So it's on the board. Error again. So now what we want to do now is to create our Django project. Don't forget that we want to bring everything together using the Python framework called Django. So the first thing is to install Django. To install Django, you need to say pip, the same way you install your virtual environment. So you want to install a package called Django. Now you need to say pip install Django. So once, okay, I then copied this. Once you have that, you can then press enter. And then I go and put it on the board. It's installing, right? So one of the advantage of using Django is the fact that you don't need to build the admin interface yourself. Django comes shipped in with admin interface. Like, you know, the basic thing we do with the admin interface is that we do CRUD operation. CRUD operation means create, read, update, and delete. So you create file, you create, you read, you update, and that's the major thing we do with the admin. The admin just create, just update, just read, just delete. It's the user that do some manipulation and the like. So that's why, because of the, all right, so we have installed Django. Now let us use the Django that we have installed to create our application. Don't get it mixed up. We have been able to install Django. Now we want to use, are you guys still following? Or have I lost you? No. All right, so we have been able to install Django, so we want to use the Django that we have installed to create our application. And to do that, all you just need to do is just say Django admin. So now the question now is, let's now do Django admin, start project, the name of your project. I'll call my own cross-border. Yes, cross-border. So that's your major project, cross-border supply chain. Django admin, start project. What we are doing with this line is that we are using it to create our, we have been able to install Django, but now we want to use the Django that we have installed to create our application. So I'll then go ahead and put it on this place in case you just want to, in case you know that you can just copy it and put it there from here, whichever one works for you. So once you have that, I want you to see it first before I press enter. Once you are done, you can then press enter, or you can just go ahead and copy it from the document. I think that is a bit faster. Can we go? The name of the project. Once you are done, you can press enter. Can we go? So I press enter. All right, did you see any difference? No? Are you sure it's no? And you see that we have a folder created, and this folder has another folder in it. Now you have settings. Of course, we will start. You know how to work with this very soon. Just hold on. It's not working. You don't have this folder. I want to enter that new directory. So I want to say cd, then you enter the name of your project. I want to enter that folder called cross-border, where I have this Python, where I have this managers Python. I want to enter that folder. So just cd into that folder. So cd means change directory. I want to change my directory. Currently I'm here, so I want to enter here. So all you just need to do is just say cd, the name of the folder. this particular folder. So that's what you will do. I will also, in case you are using the same folder name like mine, I will just put it here too. You get that? So once you press ls, it will list all the items in the current folder directory that you are in. So you can see that inside this folder that I'm currently in, I have cross-border supply chain, which is the name of my, which is this, and I have manage.py. It is this manage.py that I am after. It is this manage.py that I am after. So you must make sure that when you press ls, you must see manage.py. Otherwise, your code might not run. What do you say?
Copy it to the did not copy to the what's our error?
I did not copy it out. It's now time for you to run your application. I should repeat it. It's not working. Python, please make sure you are seeing manage.py in that directory. Python manage. Now we have been running our Python code now, and what you are actually after is run server. Python, to run your project, to run your application, just say python manage.py run server. You can see that we are on the same page now, right? We're on the same page now, right? Right. So now it's fine. Leave that error for now. We are coming back to it, but let us be sure that our stuff actually come up. So what you just need to do is just copy this link. See what I copy? Of course, your own will not be 8001. Your own will be 8000. I've explained the peculiarity to you. So just copy that link. Why not close this stuff? So I need to end this one. It's showing me another thing. Yeah, this is what you should see. Just paste what you copied. Open your browser. You know how to copy now? Or what you can just do, to make it faster. I'm fast again. Am I fast? Ish. I'm sorry. So what you need to do to make it faster, hold your control. See it now. It says follow link, control plus click. So hold your control down. You see that when I hold control, it's changing the icon. It's changing the icon of that cursor. So once I hold control, I then click on it. So just hold control, then click on it. If you don't want to copy. Did you get? Hold control, so you should see this. The installed work successfully. If you don't see this, then we need to start troubleshooting. Yeah, man. Does it work for us? We all can see this, right? Yes. We all can see this, right? It's telling you you have 18 unapplied migration. Your project may not work properly until you apply the migration. Of course, here, which is telling you, of course, the code is still running. It's just telling that you have 18 unapplied migration. Now, let me tell you about migration. Migration. Now, when you are building your app, of course, you know that something is powering your app, which is the data. And the data is stored in the database. Now this data that is stored in the database, there's a way you structure them in different parts. Like you have some you structure them in tables. For example, you have user table. This app now, you have sales table, you have transaction table, you have different types of table, and these tables are all interacting with each other. So for you to come up with the table, the table is not an Excel sheet where you just draw table, put name and that. You do everything with code. So see migration as the process by which you create the models of your table. When you hear model, you'll be seeing it in the code as you move forward. When you hear model is nothing special, it's just database table. Of course, you can have users table, you can have maybe sales table, you can have products table, depending on the app that you are building. Now the process at which you create the table is called model, so it's called migration. So when you create a migration, it means that you write a code that will allow you to create the table, or that will allow you to structure the table. Now after you have created the migration, you will now make the migration, meaning that you will commit the migration, meaning that you will now implement it. It will first draw a schema. A schema means the structure of the table. So when you first make the migration, it will draw the structure, everything as a code. So when it draw the structure, it will now ask you, do you want to, you will check it. If you are fine with it, you can then implement it. So that is when the table will now be created. Now if is to say you need to close the server. To close the server, you just need to say Ctrl+C, press Ctrl+C, and you close the server. The server is currently running, so for you to close the server, you will press Ctrl+C. But take note of the fact that your virtual environment is still running. Your virtual environment is still running, and that is why now what you now need to do for you to run the migration is to say Python. There are some migration that are shipped with, I told you that there's a lot that is shipped with Django. So it's that migration that we want to create now. So when we run the migration, you will see the structure. So all you just need to do is just say python manage.py, and what you now need to do is to say migrate. Manage.py, then say migrate. So this is the process at which you create the structure of the table for you to check. So after you have checked it, you can then go ahead to commit it. That means to implement it. Python manage.py, then migrate. Can I press enter? Yes, you can just press enter. You see something, you see that apply all migration. You have the admin, which is coming with Django. You have the authentication, which is coming with, you can see the content types, you can see the sessions, which is also coming with Django. But you see that it actually apply all those migrations, but all this actually happen for you in the background. You are going to see the one that you are going to see, that you are going to be using in practical sense. But for now, you just notice the fact that it created some migrations for you, some database tables, and it's committed it. Now for you to see, now the truth is you are already working with database, but I don't want us to stress ourselves with the fact that we are now installing PostgreSQL or all these other database. This DB SQLite is actually our database. It's actually our database. I don't know if I should show you now, but okay, I think I should just show you. So now let us come to our browser. You don't know everything, but Google is your friend. You can just search for SQLite. Once I get the link, I'll share with you. Online viewer, SQLite online viewer. So this is it. I'll just share the link with you. So open this link to view your database. You have been disconnected. Why? Just reconnect. So while I wait for it to reconnect, this is the link, SQLite online viewer. Alright, I think I will have it here now for you to copy and just open it in one of your browsers tab. So what you just need to do now is to open the file. Of course, you know where you save your project. So click on, you have opened this link that I've put on that document. So you will see this place. You can just check that document to be fast. Instead of using Google, you can just check that document. So you will see, just copy that link to the document, because the result of Google for you might be different from my own. So just go to this document, then copy this link, then open one of your browsers tab, then put it there, then open it. So once you open it, it will bring you here. To be fast, you can just be copying from the document. I will advise so that you can be faster, instead of typing it out yourself, to avoid mistakes, so that you can be following me as I move. Now that we are there, so you can see this open file, load the sample. How many of us are here? All right, so open the file. Now go to where you save your project. Me, I saved mine on the desktop. I'm going fast. Don't forget we are leaving here by 3:30. All right, it's fine. From where? So now that you are here, all you just need to do is just to open the file. To open the file, then go and look for this particular database. Go and look for this particular database, the SQLite. Look for it. So what you just need to do is just come here, open file, then go to where you save your project. For me, it might not be the same for you. Go to desktop. It might not be desktop for you, but just go to where you save your project, then open the project. This is the project for me. I want to wait for you till you get to this point of your own project, so that we can open the folder together. Alright, so let's open it now. When you open it, you'll be here where you have your virtual environment. Don't forget the function of virtual environment. Then we are looking for the SQLite file. So we have not get to our destination. So let us open this. And now this is the SQLite file. To open, just double click. So you can see this is your SQLite file. So click on it, then say open. Now, if you have opened this SQLite file before, how many of us are here now? You are here, right? Okay. If you have opened this SQLite file before you run that migration that we just finished running now, you will not see all this, because it just creates the schema for us. We have not used it to create the database. Now this is your database. You can see that inside our database, that's the beauty of framework. I told you it comes shipped with some major concepts, key concepts. So you can see we have 11 tables. Of course, we don't need to disturb ourselves too much with the 11 tables. All I just wanted to see is the user groups and also the authentication and so on and so forth. You see that Django comes with different things which we are going to be seeing in action. You might not need to disturb yourself too much with it. So this is a particular table, Django session. This session has column. This particular session has column session key, column session data, and column expiring date. The same thing for auth user. The authenticated user has ID, password, the last time you log in. Is the person a super user, which is maybe an admin, the username of the person, the last name of the person, the email of the person. So if you have a user and you want to, maybe you need the phone number of the user, and Django does not have a column where you can take the phone number of the user, you can extend this model. Of course, this will still be there, but you can add your own additional feeds. Of course, we are going to be seeing that in action very soon. So just pay attention to all these that came with Django, we are going to be needing them very, very soon. So now that we have been able to see that, so in case you do anything to your database and you want to check it, you can just use that online SQLite viewer for now. We can use PostgreSQL, we can use other database, but let's just keep it simple for now. Now we have projects. We want to create an application under our project. There's a project. Under the project, we want to create an application. Just like you have a big Excel sheet. One Excel file, sorry. The Excel file, you can create multiple Excel sheets. Sheet 1, sheet 2, sheet 3, sheet 4. The same thing for our application. This is a project. So each project can, for example, let's say you have UJ school management system, for example, as a project. There will be an application for managing the results. There will be another application for managing the student registration. There will be another application for managing finance. There will be another application for managing maybe scholarships or maybe funding. There will be another application for managing the staffs, like the payroll. So you can see that there's different branches of your project. So Django have put that into consideration that when you have your project, which is a whole cross-border supply chain, all this cross-border supply chain, you can have the part for payments, which is an application. You can have the part for user authentication, which is another application on its own. You can have the part for maybe value exchange or anything. It depends on you. And that is why when we were doing Tonkable in the last class, we took time to talk about how we can conceptualize our idea and put them in sketch form, and before we move forward with it. So let us create a particular application now under our project, and let us call this application to be core. Of course, what can I call this? Let's just call it main app. Of course, what can we call it? Let's just call it the core or anything. That means the major one of the application. So what we are going to do now to create an application, I think you understand the concept of projects and application now. The OUJ website is for example is the project. Each unit, each division of the project is the application. Each unit, each division of the project is the application, so that you can be able to separate your concern. So now let us create the core application now. So to create application, all you just need to do, make sure you are still in this directory. You just need to say Python manage.py start app, and you give the app a name. You can say the app name is core, or should I say, let me say main app for better understanding. Python manage, I'll quickly copy it and put it on the sheet. So I'll call it main app so that you can understand. So because when you see core, you might be like, what is core again? So let's call it main app. So can we press enter now? I believe what you see what just happened now. We have a folder called main app. So but take note of the fact that, look at something here. That is so you have main app, and you also have another app which is cross-border supply chain. Now this is you can see that it's bearing the same name with your project. This is like this is where the application starts running. Every other one that you had, you need to find a way of linking it with this. so that you can work together with it. You will still be working here, but there's a way you link it with this for it to work together. Now that we have created the main app, see this as the main, like the starting point of the application, where when you start your application, maybe you say python manage.py run server, the first place that your run server will look for or will look at is this particular place. So anything you are creating, you need to make sure that you register it here, and we are going to be seeing it in action very soon. Now that we have been able to do that, if you come, you see that you have your views, you have your models, you have your apps, and you have your admin. And we are going to be seeing these views in action for now. So you are going to be seeing the views in action for now. So just open your views, come to your views. From the word views, that is the part that you can see under main app. Did not create main app, but no command. Python manage. No. See the command I use here. That's why I'm saying that it might be nice if you can just pick it from here. It did not put manage, just start app. So please, you must pay attention to how this thing works together. Once you get it, then you can start building anything before we finally call it a day in the next few minutes. Alright, now that we have been able to do that, we'll stop in the next. I'll stop by 3:25 and we'll do something and we'll go.
Can everyone see views?
Fast now. Now I want us to see something here. Now you have from Django.shortcuts, you are importing render. So it's asking you to create your view. Now the first view I want to create, and you always create it as a function. You create your home page. Let us create our home page as a function. You don't forget how to create function in Python, which is what? No, Python. Dev, thank you. Dev, let's call this. Now, when you say index in programming, index is the major page of your application. Like when they go to, maybe your website is www.uj.ac.za, the first page they land on is the index page. So when you hear index, is the first page they land on once they get to your website. What